All right, let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about a book that, well, it's been a game changer for a lot of people. It's Brené Brown's The Gifts of Imperfection. And look, the core idea is pretty simple, but it's also kind of revolutionary. It's all about letting go of who you think you're supposed to be so you can finally, really embrace who you are.
And this quote, it's pretty much the whole story in a nutshell. This is what we're diving into today. It's not just a nice thought. It's a challenge, right? It's about the deep, real courage it takes to just be you, imperfections and all.
So, where did all this come from? Well, the way this whole thing started is a fascinating story in itself. It begins with the author Brené Brown, a researcher who, believe it or not, stumbled into a personal crisis that was hiding right there in her own data. So she's deep in her research, studying people who are living these really full, what she calls wholehearted lives. And she starts seeing this pattern. She basically boils it all down to two lists. You've got the do list on one side, all the things these folks actively cultivated, like joy, gratitude, creativity. And then there's the don't list, things like perfectionism, exhaustion, and this constant need to be certain about everything.
And this is where the story takes a turn. This is the gut punch. As she's looking at these two lists on her board, she has this lightning bolt of a realization. She grabs her marker, draws a line right under that don't list, and she writes one word. Me. As she put it, I'm living straight down the shit list. All of a sudden, this wasn't just data anymore. It was her life. And that moment kicked off a whole year of trying to figure out how to get off that list. So that moment changes everything. And it makes her ask this huge question. How do you get off that list? Well, first, she had to figure out what keeps us stuck there in the first place. And her research pointed to two massive obstacles that get in the way of living a wholehearted life. First up is shame. And we really got to be clear about what we mean here. Shame is not just feeling embarrassed because you tripped in public. It's that deep, gut-wrenching feeling that we are the mistake, that something is fundamentally wrong with us, and because of that, we don't deserve love, we don't deserve to belong. It's a universal human fear, and man, it is powerful. So, what's our number one defense against that feeling of shame? For so many of us, it's this: perfectionism. But the book makes it super clear that perfectionism isn't about healthy achievement or trying to be your best. It's a 20-ton shield that we drag around. It's this belief that says, hey, if I can just look perfect and act perfect, then maybe, just maybe, I can avoid all that blame and judgment. And here's the real difference. It's so simple. It all comes down to your focus. Healthy striving looks inward. It asks, how can I improve? How can I grow? Perfectionism, though, it only looks outward. It is constantly, anxiously asking, what will they think? It's not for you. It's a performance for everybody else. Okay, so if we know what the big roadblocks are, shame and perfectionism, what do we do about them? How do we move past them? Well, the book doesn't just leave us there. It lays out a clear path forward with 3 essential tools you need to start building that wholehearted life. And here they are: courage, compassion, and connection. Now, the key thing here is that these aren't just, personality traits you're born with. They are practices. They are skills that you can actually build one day at a time. They are the real gifts of imperfection. Let's talk about courage for a sec. The word actually comes from the Latin word cor, which means heart. So the original definition had nothing to do with being a hero. It was about telling your story with your whole heart. It's about having the ordinary courage to be vulnerable and honest about who you are. Now here's a totally counterintuitive idea about compassion that just blew my mind. What she found in her research is that the most compassionate people, they're also the ones with the best boundaries. It sounds weird at first, right? But think about it. You can't be generous and kind to others if you're secretly resentful because you're letting them walk all over you. Real compassion means holding people accountable, and that starts with setting boundaries. And finally, connection. And, this isn't just some fuzzy, feel-good idea. This is biology. We are literally hardwired for this stuff. It's that energy you feel when you're with someone and you feel totally seen, heard, and valued for who you are, no judgment. And you can give that same thing back. It's a basic human need like food and water. Okay, so we have the problem, and we have the tools. But all of this, it's all building toward one central, absolutely life-changing conclusion. This is the foundation that everything else rests on. And here it is, the single most important thing. The one thing that separates people who have a deep sense of love and belonging from those who are always struggling to find it is simply the belief in their own worthiness. That's it. They believe they are worthy of love and belonging right from the start.
But let's be honest, that's not how most of us operate, is it? We have this whole checklist of prerequisites for our own worthiness. We tell ourselves things like, okay, I'll be worthy when I lose the weight, or I'll be enough if I get that promotion. We're always chasing it, always putting our own worthiness just over the next hill.
And this right here, this is the whole point. This is the most powerful lesson in the whole book. The entire journey is about getting to this simple, profound truth. You are worthy now. Not if, not when. Worthy, as is.
So I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Forget all the conditions, forget the ifs and the whens. What would change for you? What risks would you take? What dreams would you chase? What would you do differently if you started from the radical belief that you are already enough? Right now.